In this video, I demonstrate how to make bean soup from the scratch. I will use 2 carrots, an onion, 2 tomatoes, and a bell pepper. You can use any color. I normally prefer green, but this time I'll use an orange bell pepper to make my soup colorful. I also prefer my veggies chunky so they can be easily tasted when eating this soup. I never like to smash them all in. That's what happens when they're so small, that when they're chopped into small sizes. I'll use 4 spoons of olive oil to fry the tomatoes, the onions, Fry them such that they're able to produce a flavor, an onion flavor. And sometimes you can fry them till they're gold brown. It all just adds a taste. It makes your soup tasty. And this might take you some 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the heat. And obviously it must be some low heat, otherwise they'll burn before they're ready. Then adding the tomatoes to the onions and fry them or cook them until they all turn brown. You fry them, and the more you fry them, this spice is important to make your bean soup thick and to acquire that taste of a fried soup, fried beans. You can add I'll add a spoon of garlic to the tomatoes and onions. It's important that it also cooks with the onions and tomatoes because that's what gives the soup a taste. This can be a minimum of 5 minutes to 6 minutes of frying to ensure that the ingredients cook all together. I'm also adding a spoon of chili powder and also cooking it all together with the rest of the spices, all to give a taste. That all these are important to acquire for the soup to acquire a good taste and such as tasty. So already you see my beans cooked long time ago, and I have to add them to the paste that I made with the spices I already fried and cooked. So mix the beans so they can with the spices to ensure that the spices and the beans are all mixed well and together. so they can easily saturate the beans. The spices and the beans should all come together. As you see, I'm mixing up my beans together with the spices, and I also add at this point some salt. So I mix the beans with the spices already made as I already showed in this video. Mix them up well, and I'll add the bean soup, the water that I cooked with the beans, to the beans so that you get a thick soup. Next time in the video I'll show how to cook beans so they don't give gas or cause your stomach to bloat. Otherwise, water from the beans is the best soup to add to your beans so that they give you that thick, good soup when you cook them. You see, I add a little salt. You can add salt depending on how much salt you like in your soups. I really like a very minimal salt in my in my beans and all my soups. I don't know how you like it, but add it to taste. Add salt to taste, and allow your beans to cook. Normally, bring them to boil, but keep them at a very low heat so they do not burn. And in this time, I let them boil for around 10 minutes, but ensure that they boil, and then add the vegetables, as you see, the carrots, the pepper, to your beans. They shouldn't cook for long. If they're already boiling, allow them to also boil not more than 5 minutes if you want your vegetables not to get mashed in all with the beans. Like, you need to eat and taste the carrot and taste the pepper as vegetables in your beans. And cover them until they boil, but not more than 5 minutes at best. After all, the heat within the beans will cook these vegetables with time. If you let them rest for more 5 minutes on the stove without fire. As you can see, here is our bean soup, looking yummy, ready to serve. In this time, I ate the beans with baked potatoes. They were so delicious.